Hello everyone, I'm back with my next episode of Words of Wisdom. And today I'm here with the famous personality and the father of Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, born on 14th April 1891, also known as Baba Saheb Ambedkar, was an Indian jurist, economist, politician, and social reformer who inspired the Dalit Buddhist movement and campaigned against social discrimination towards the untouchables, that is, the Dalits. Today is his birth anniversary. He used to say, I like the religion that teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. He is known as the father of Indian Constitution. He was the one who had drafted, he was the main person who had drafted this constitution which we are still following. Ambedkar was born in the town and military cantonment of Mahau in central provinces, now in Madhya Pradesh. He was the 14th and the last child of Ramji Maloji Sakpal, an army officer who held the rank of Subedar, and Bhimabai Sakpal, daughter of Lakshman Murbadkar. His family was of Marathi background from the town of Ambadave in Ratnagiri district of modern-day Maharashtra. Ambedkar was born into a Mahar Dalit caste who were treated as untouchables and subjected to socio-economic discrimination. Although they attended school, Ambedkar and other untouchable children were segregated and given little attention or help by teachers. They were not allowed to sit inside the class. When they needed to drink water, someone from higher caste had to pour that water from a height, as they were not allowed to touch either the water or the vessel that contained it. This task was usually performed for the young Ambedkar by the school peon, and if the peon was not available, then he had to go without drinking water. He described the situation later in his writings as no peon, no water. He was required to sit on a gunny sack which he had to take home with him. Here we have two pictures where we can see the untouchables. In the first picture, we can see a class where a Dalit child is made to sit separately. In the second picture, we can see a lady pouring water from a great height so that there is no contact. In the third picture, we have the caste system of India where we can see the Brahmins on the top, followed by Kshatriyas, then Vaishyas, Shudra, and then the Dalits who were known as the untouchables. We also have a picture of all the Dalit or the untouchable women and children. Here we can see a broom has been tied at the back. Whenever an untouchable used to walk on the road, he had to tie this broom so that he could broom the area where he was walking on. Ambedkar became the only untouchable enrolled at the Elphinstone High School. By 1912, he obtained his degree in economics and political science from Bombay University and prepared to take up employment with the Baroda state government. In 1913, at the age of 22, Ambedkar moved to United States. He had been awarded a Baroda state scholarship of 11.50 sterling per month for 3 years under the scheme established by Sayaji Rao Gaikwad III, Gaikwad of Baroda, that was designed to provide opportunities for postgraduate education at Columbia University in New York City. In October 1916, he enrolled for the bar course at Gray's Inn and at the same time enrolled at the London School of Economics, where he started working on a doctoral thesis. His thesis was on the problem of the rupee, its origin and its solution. In 1923, he completed a D. Science in Economics, which was awarded from the University of London. And here we can see him sitting with all the professors of Br Ambedkar. You can see Br Ambedkar is in the black suit with black specs and tie. He's standing. As Ambedkar was educated by the princely state of Baroda, he was bound to serve it. He was appointed military secretary to the Gaikwad, but had to quit in a short time. He described the incident in his autobiography, Waiting for a Visa. Thereafter, he tried to find ways to make a living for his growing family. He worked as a private tutor, as an accountant, and established an investment consulting business, but it failed when his clients learned that he was an untouchable. In 1918, he became professor of political economy in the Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics in Mumbai. Although he was successful with the students, other professors objected to his sharing drinking water jug with them. While practicing law in the Bombay High Court, he tried to promote education to untouchables and uplift them. His first organized attempt was his establishment of the central institution Bahishkrit Hitakarini Sabha, intended to promote education and socio-economic improvement as well as welfare of outcasts, at the time referred to as depressed classes. For the defense of Dalit rights, he started many periodicals like Mook Nayak, Bahishkrit Bharat, and Equality Janta. The forms of untouchability that were evident at that time were refusal by Babas to cut hair of Dalits, denial of temple entry to Dalits, hotel and eatlers keeping two tumblers, one for Dalit and one for others, refusal of permission for Dalits to bury the dead in the burial ground, and absence of exclusive burial grounds for Dalits in villages. By 1927, Ambedkar had decided to launch active movement against untouchability. He began with public movements and marches to open up public drinking water resources. He also began a struggle for the right to enter Hindu temples. He led a satyagraha in Mahar to fight for the rights of untouchable community to draw water from the main water tank of the town. In a conference in late 1927, Ambedkar publicly condemned the classic Hindu text, the Manu Smriti, that is the laws of Manu, for ideologically justifying caste discrimination and untouchability, and he ceremonially burned copies of the ancient text. On 25th of December 1927, he led thousands of followers to burn copies of Manusmriti. Thus, annually, 25th December is celebrated as Manusmriti Dahan Din, that is Manusmriti Burning Day, by Ambedkarites and Dalits. He went on to become the first Law and Justice Minister of independent India. He was awarded India's highest civilian honor, that is the Bharat Ratna, in 1990. On 29th of August 1947, the Constituent Assembly set up a drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to prepare a draft constitution for India. The Republic is governed in terms of Constitution of India, which was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949 and came into force on 26th of January 1950. Father of the Indian Constitution. A drafting committee was elected by the Constituent Assembly on the 29th of August 1947. It elected Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to be the president. The Constitution, as prepared by the drafting committee, was circulated on 21st of February 1948. This formed the basis of discussion in and outside the Constituent Assembly. The drafting committee had 7 members apart from chairman, which are Br Ambedkar ji was the chairman, Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer, D.P. Khaitan, N. Mahadev Rao, K. M. Munshi, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, T.T. Krishnamachari, he belonged to the Congress, and Said Muhammad Sadullah, that is, he belonged to the Muslim League. Indian Constitution seeks to establish the fundamental organs of government and administration, lays down their structure, composition, powers and principal functions, defines the interrelationship of one organ with another, and regulates the relationship between the citizen and the state, more particularly the political relationship. The Constitution describes how India is divided into states and union territories. There are governments at both levels, one at the center for the entire country and the other is in which the state or the union territory for the particular state or union territory. This was done because the members of the Constituent Assembly felt that India was a large country and one government at the center would not be able to solve the problems and look after the interests of all the people and the different regions. The Constitution was finally adopted for 26 November 1949. The Constitution was enforced with effect from January 26, 1950. From that day, India became a republic. Since 1948, Ambedkar suffered from diabetes. He was bedridden from June to October in 1954 due to medication, side effects and poor eyesight. His health worsened during 1955. 3 days after completing his final manuscript, The Buddha and His Dhamma, Ambedkar died in his sleep on the 6th December 1956 at his home in Delhi. A Buddhist cremation was organized at Dadar Chowpatty beach on 7th December, attended by 500,000 grieving people. Br Ambedkar used to say, "We must stand on our own feet and fight as best as we can for our rights. So carry on your agitation and organize your forces. Power and prestige will come to you through struggle." He also used to say, "Freedom of mind is the real freedom." He said, "R is a battle, not for wealth, nor for power. Ours is a battle for freedom, for the reclamation of human personality." Let us see what he said about social democracy. Political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of social democracy. What does social democracy mean? It means a way of life which recognizes liberty, equality, fraternity as the principles of life. They form a union of trinity in the sense that to divorce one from the other is to defeat the very purpose of democracy. Without equality, liberty would produce the supremacy of few over the many. Without fraternity, liberty would produce the supremacy of the few over the many. Without fraternity, liberty and equality could not become a natural course of things. It would require a constable to enforce them. Here we can see some pictures of him working and also giving a speech. The words that he said, which I want everybody else also to know, is that if things go wrong, we will have nobody to blame except ourselves. This was said by Br Ambedkar, and let us see on basis of what did he say this. Ambedkar's final words on the topic sums up his view on the measure of responsibility owed to preserve the idea of India as envisioned in the Constitution. He said, "Let us not forget that this independence has thrown on us great responsibilities. By independence, we have lost the excuse of blaming the British for anything going wrong. If hereafter things go wrong, we will have nobody to blame except ourselves. If we wish to preserve the Constitution in which we have sought to enshrine the principle of government of India for the people and by the people, let us resolve not to be tardy in the recognition of the evil that lie across our path and which induce people to prefer government for the people to government by the people, nor to be weak in our initiative to remove them. That is only the way to serve the country. I know of no better." Here we can see the Bharat Ratna award he had got after his death on the 31st of March 1990. I hope you really got inspired by the father of our Constitution. We'll meet next Wednesday with another inspiring personality. Till then, take good care of yourself.